The pound for pound rankings came out. It is whatever day it is, and the pound for pound rankings are out. I was going to say yesterday, my friend Justin and I spoke. I was saying I want to talk about Dana White getting on the mic after every fight now, and just for some reason, unprovoked, bringing up his man, Jon Jones. Again, unprovoked. We saw Islam fight at the beginning of the month in a spectacular win. We saw Alex Pereira fight at the end of the month and a spectacular win as well. The number one and number two pound for pound fighters. And at both times, we saw Dana White get on the press conference, get on the mic, and bring up Jon Jones without anyone else mentioning Jon Jones when it comes to the pound for pound rankings. But as of today, despite what Dana said a couple days ago on Saturday, Alex Pereira leaps over Jon Jones, as he obviously should, according to me. Justin, can you tell me why we have to get on as the two most influential podcasters, YouTube faces of MMA, UFC media? We have to get on and we have to discuss this on a near weekly basis at this point. I don't mind it. Obviously, it's like my favorite thing to talk about, literally, obviously. But can you tell me why we have to keep talking about it? What is going on with Dana White right now?
Yeah, well, I don't put too much weight into the pound for pound rankings because it's done by the media people that are sitting there on their computers at the events. It's not done by the fighters. It's not done by the even the matchmakers, the fighters. It's not done by the people that actually know this sport, at a high level. It's done by the people who are sitting behind their laptops. I don't put too much weight into those pound for pound rankings. Like I said, I do show my respect to Alex Pereira. What he's done has been special, but the fact I'm just gonna be I can't say this without being disrespectful. The fact that Mr. Pereira is anywhere near the top 5 pound for pound rankings, and I'm talking, does he deserve? I get why the media has him in there, but if we're talking about the best fighters in the sport, the most complete fighters in the sport, Alex Pereira probably, with all due respect, doesn't sniff the top 10, and that's my honest opinion. I'm just being honest with you. Like I said, the guy can't take away what the guy's done, but I don't think even you would argue that he is a one-dimensional fighter. Hey, if they want to keep throwing him in there with strikers, he'll keep looking great. That's fine. But I think he's a one-dimensional fighter. I'm not putting a one-dimensional fighter in my top 5. I just that my personal rankings wouldn't have him in there, but the MMA.
Did you have Izzy top 5 when during Izzy's reign? Did you have him in the top 5?
Yeah, Izzy's a more complete fighter than Alex Pereira. He is. Izzy's takedown defense is absolutely better.
He's more complete. Well, I don't think takedown defense makes you a complete fighter. He's definitely a way more complete fighter than Pereira. Nobody's arguing that. Turned into Izzy Nurmagomedov and still got knocked out against Pereira. But I guess my question more so is, I
was just saying he flatlined Pereira, whereas Pereira just TKO'd him, but that's all.
I remember I saw both of them with my very two eyes while you were freaking loading on the stream.
I was what actually? What was I doing?
You were loading up Stream East. Yeah, nice.
No. But what was that? We don't need to get into what I was doing.
What were you doing?
We don't need to get into that.
All right, let's not get into that. Yeah, that could be a story for a different time. It was in April. I don't know. You were on the beach. So I think my question, why does Dana White bring this up at every press conference? Why is this something that we have to keep talking about? He just, again, Jon Jones has the naked pictures of Dana White, maybe some other stuff on him. I don't know. But the question, if you watch the presser, someone asks about Pereira in the pound for pound rankings, what he would have to do if he moves up to heavyweight and potentially gets a third belt. Where would that put that guy all time and pound for pound? And Dana just unprompted starts talking about his boy, Jon Jones. Very bizarre. He did the same thing when the number 1 pound for pound fighter, Islam Makhachev, fought at the beginning of the month. He had a great win over Poirier, an awesome fight. The guy has not lost in a very long time. He finishes fight. I mean, he does everything that you would want from the number 1 guy. And he still is just saying Jon Jones is number 1. So regardless of what you think, I'll do what you do. And I'm going to call a spade here. Dana is clearly The guy knows social media. Everyone's hating on this Jones-Stipe fight. Everyone's saying Jon Jones is ducking Aspinall. He's saying he's going to duck Pereira now. He wants to fight old man Stipe. He doesn't want to fight contenders. Regardless of what you think about that, you have to acknowledge that that's why Dana is saying these things. That's why he's making a big fuss of this, because he's trying to sell a fight that people don't really care about. Or can you tell me another reason why he needs to bring this up? Again, go look. No one mentions Jon Jones. No one mentions Jon Jones.
Who doesn't want to see Jon Jones versus Stipe? Whether you saying you want to see Aspinall more, bro, and don't say I'll pull it. Like, bro, you can go on Twitter and everyone has an opinion on every different thing, and they have like that's just Twitter. Like, what I'm saying is people want to.
Let's talk real life.
Okay. Let's talk real life. I bet you that Jon Jones versus Stipe will do bigger numbers on a pay-per-view than Alex Pereira, any of Alex Pereira's fights. That's what I'm saying. Dana White doesn't have to sell that fight. What I think Dana White is doing is I think he looks at it as almost a bit of disrespect that people like yourself and people like this new age of MMA media are comparing a guy who's on a legitimate, the guy just lost. Before he came to the UFC, the guy was wrestled and beat by some no-name. He lost to one of us in whatever promotion he was in. All I'm saying is, it's this. You know this. I don't know why you're playing this narrative. I don't care what he's done. It's not like some bold take to say that the guy's a one-dimensional fighter. It's almost embarrassing, honestly, to the sport, and it's embarrassing to some of the UFC claims that like they're the highest level of MMA, which I agree with, but if they're going to continue to throw him in there with these stylistically favorable matchups where he looks like this unbelievable fighter, and he's one of the best strikers the sport has ever seen, but it's not. I don't understand why we're acting as if, bro, you're talking about him being one of the greatest of all time in a top 3 pound for pound fighter, bro. Like, are we actually?
Why did I bring this up?
If you truly believe that, I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for bringing this up, obviously, but like if you think at the pound for pound rankings, what they seem to mean is what have you done for me lately? It obviously does not matter why when somebody loses they move down in the rankings. Why if someone is I mean, obviously, there's no point in the UFC or the pound for pound rankings anyway, because they're not put out by the UFC. That's why Dana White, the head of the company, does not agree with them and publicly disagrees with them, as we're seeing very frequently now for some reason. So they shouldn't really even be a thing anymore. And he changes his own criteria for them, like literally all the time. Remember, do you remember last February, they marketed a fight as the number 1 pound for pound guy and the number 2 pound for pound guy? You remember this?
Yep.
Okay. So Jon Jones was still an active fighter at this time, right?
I don't know. Did he fight Cyril Gane before or after that fight?
After, like a month that was January or February, I think February. And then that fight happened in March. Jon Jones versus Gane was in March. It happened right after.
Yeah, so then he was obviously inactive for the 3 years. So he wasn't an active fighter when that fight took place. That fight took place. He came back, went up a division. Like you're talking about Alex Pereira doing, he actually did what you're wanting Alex Pereira to do. He actually did that. He actually went up to heavyweight and won the belt.
Wait, Alex Pereira hasn't moved up a division and won a belt and defended it multiple times?
I said moved up to heavyweight, which is what you want Alex Pereira to do. Yes,
Dude,
that's what I said.
Pereira already moved up a weight class and won a second belt. Does it matter that it's at heavyweight?
Move up to heavyweight. I didn't say move up a weight class. Yes, he did that. No one said he didn't. I said
so it's more impressive because it's light heavyweight to heavyweight as opposed to middleweight to light heavyweight?
What I'm saying, bro, all I'm saying is you're just talking about Pereira moving up to heavyweight to fight Aspinall or Jones. I'm saying Jones already did that. He went from the 205 champion. He moved up to heavyweight and won the title. So I don't understand.
Yeah, so again, as of now, they both won weight classes in 2 divisions. So, I don't know what the fuck heavyweight has to do with it.
Bro, all I'm saying is...
I get what you're saying, but
okay, so then what are you arguing? What is the argument that you're trying to make right now?
I'm saying that they both moved. You're saying like Pereira said. I understand. Please don't say it again. But that would be his third time moving up, or second rather, going for a third belt. So obviously that's more impressive than going up I mean, what is more impressive, having 3 belts or 2? So like,
I
I
would
don't
take
know.
I would take 15 title defenses over 3. I don't care if you win 3 fights in a row at 3 weight classes. I'm taking the 15 title defenses over that. That's just
Okay,
me.
but
Yeah.
why? I don't understand that the pound for pound rankings isn't current. It's all time. Who's the best current fighter all time?
No, Jon Jones came back, won the belt in the another division, which you're saying is
Came back
that
from
means
what?
everything.
What did he come
That
back
means
from?
everything, and then he tears his pec getting ready for his next fight. So you want to take him out of the rankings? I don't understand it.
No, he can still be in the rankings. He's just like
Okay.
7 or 8. Like, I don't know if these guys. So what if like when my next question?
Bro, you pick Alex Pereira to lose on Saturday. Now you're saying he's a top 3 pound for pound fighter. Like, I don't if the guy
Well, in
was
a literal
that,
sense,
if he
he
was
is.
that complete,
In an
if he was
not
that
my
complete,
opinion.
I don't understand. You think Alex Pereira is the top 3 pound for pound fighter in the world, in MMA, in the UFC?
In both my opinion, everyone else's opinion, and the literal opinion, yes, on all 3 accounts, he is. So, I don't understand. I don't who's ahead of him. Like, so at what point, like, if he beat a wrestler, that would make him higher in the pound for pound ranking?
He's dude. The guy's defended his title 2 times, and dude. Everyone does this in MMA. Pipe it down, bro.
The pound for pound rankings are current, you moron. Like, it has nothing to do with the fact he could have defended his belt 30 times.
Bro, it's not even comparable. One
What's
guy
not
was sparked
comparable?
unconscious 3 fights ago. One guy
what was Jones doing at the time? Not fighting.
Enough. Like, it's not even comparable, bro. You didn't watch the sport when Jon Jones was at his best.
Correct. How does that prove? That shows how long ago it was. That's not an argument for you. That's in the wrong direction, bro.
Waste of time.
There's a reason
Pereira was getting knocked out and Cyril Gane was dominating the heavyweight division. You weren't saying shit. Now all of a sudden everything's changed in 3 fights.
Correct. It literally changes. So what happens? What happens if Pereira gets knocked out his next 2 fights? That has nothing things change.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. Like again, the whole thing of time. You're saying I wasn't watching Jones's run.
No,
you're correct.
You didn't know, bro.
I wasn't watching George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva's run. I wasn't watching it. I wasn't a fan of the sport in 2015. You're 100% correct. And those are the wins that you're saying for some reason in 2024 has something to do with the pound for pound rankings. That's not how it works. It's what have you done for me lately? So the fact, what if these guys keep winning? At what point would you want Jones, in your opinion, the only guy who thinks this, you're like the only guy, you and Dana, again, maybe John has some shit on you as well. At what point, seriously, you don't have to just like repeat something I say. At what point would you want Jon Jones out of the rankings?
If he's fighting Stipe in November and that fight gets canceled, whatever, you can take him out of the rankings. That's a year and a half, 2 years or whatever of him not fighting. That's when I would take him out of the rankings. The guy clearly moved up to heavyweight, dominated, and then gets hurt for his next fight. I don't understand what you want. He tears his pec. Just like if Alex Pereira tore his ACL tomorrow, you would want him out of the pound for pound rankings?
If he tore his ACL and then he didn't fight for 3 years, yes.
No, Jon Jones fought a year and 3 months ago. So that's
what
not 3 years.
3 years before that? What happened to 3 years before that?
Answer the question. Would you want Pereira out of the rankings if he tore his ACL?
I just fucking answered your question. I said if it takes 3 years to get back.
Jon Jones, dude.
How are you forgetting? How long did he fight before that?
A year and a quarter ago.
Okay.
A year and a quarter ago.
All right. Are you going to ignore my question for
No, are you going to answer the question? If Pereira was out for a year and a quarter, is he out of the pound for pound rankings? Yes or no?
This is going to look so funny. For the 4th time, yes. If he was out for a year and a half.
No, go back and look. You said yes if he's out.
It's going to just play on a continuous loop. There is no going back and looking.
He was out for a year and a quarter. You're trying to say yes if it's 3 years. I'm asking if he's out for a year and a quarter. Would you take Pereira out of the rankings?
Correct. No.
Okay, then stop talking about it. It's done. Okay. No, it's done.
What if he was out for 3 years before that? Then yes, 100%. It's not even a question. That's why me and every other person with a brain thinks this way, other than you. He fought one time in 4.5 years, dude.
Sweet.
And it was against Gane, a guy who got dropped by Tuivasa.
The guy that went 5 hard rounds should have beat. If he doesn't pull for a heel hook, he beats your.
Yeah, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. if I
best
had wheels,
heavyweight
I'd
on
be
the
a
planet.
bike.
Francis Ngannou, the best heavyweight on the planet.
I thought Cyril Gane was.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm quoting you.
Yeah, you're
Francis
saying
Ngannou,
ifs.
this unbelievable, just the greatest heavyweight. It's
If we want to do so, if Pereira knocks out Jones, he'll be one like because we can just say ifs things, and that like somehow is a valid argument. So yes,
you
if
don't
Pereira,
even believe it, bro. You don't. Bro, you
nowhere Pereira wasn't even signed in the UFC, and now he's done more impressive things than Jones has ever done.
You pick Pereira to lose on Saturday. Now you're arguing him as a top 3 fighter, and you're saying he's better than Jon Jones.
Yeah, because he had a super impressive win in a fight I thought he was going to lose.
At least keep the same energy. You don't know. You go from Pereira's going to lose to this guy's one of the greatest of all time. He's no,
I didn't say anything remotely. I didn't do that, actually.
You talk about the casual MMA fans that we see all over social media, and this is how they act. Pereira loses to Jan Blachowicz, and then goes on this 3-fight streak that he's on, and now he's one of the greatest of all time.
It's funny saying casual and then pronouncing
he's one of the
greatest or whatever you just said. I don't know. Did you just read that off ESPN? I don't know what exactly you're getting at with that.
Bro,
so you're saying I switched up after a fight? It's unlike you who keeps the same opinion when literal things change. Like that obvious. What if Pereira went out and knocked out Ankalaev? My opinion of him would change. Like, what if in a couple months we're saying Bilal sucks? What if he comes out and knocks out Leon Edwards? My opinion on Bilal Muhammad would change. So yes, when events take place, it affects the way I view those events. So like, thank you for stating that. So I thought differently of Pereira after a wonderful performance. If Jon Jones came out and did anything ever, it would affect my opinion of him. So like, you're correct. You've got it exactly right. When things happen, it changes my opinion, unlike you, who will continue to say this. And then when Jones beats Stipe in a snoozer, actually, I don't even think he's going to beat Stipe. I don't even think the fight's ever going to happen. But you're going to say he's just solidified himself as pound for pound because he's had one fight in over 5 years by that point. Fucking you, motherfucker.
Dude, I cannot do this anymore. This topic has to stop. Like,
all right. So guess what? If Jon Jones ever fought, it would stop immediately. But Dana keeps talking about it. And again, if you want to, so I'm the casual fan. That's fine. I'd rather side with the casuals. Go look at literally anyone. This is all anyone's talking about. I've never seen Dana White, other than slap fighting, get more hate than what he's doing with talking about Jon Jones this past month. He had Islam Makhachev and Alex Pereira, the two real pound for pound number 1 and 2, as agreed by most people and in a literal sense. I've never seen Dana get as much hate. So you're very much in the minority. I know you don't seem to care, but I mean, it's an insane, it has nothing to do. What you're saying as a reason why he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter in 2004, you're talking about fights from 2016. It doesn't make, I mean, again, I proved you wrong already. You said LeBron is the GOAT or arguably the GOAT, and he's not the best, and Jokic's the best player right now. Why isn't LeBron the best player right now? LeBron should be the best player right now until he retires, right? By your train of thought. Why is that different?
Because Jon Jones came and showed us that he's still the best a year ago, dominated a guy that many thought was the best heavyweight in the world at the time, dominated.
Well, I don't know why anyone would think that.
You act like that just didn't happen. This is a waste of time to talk about. It is.
I don't know. That was one fight in 4.5 years. I don't know why that's so funny.
One dominant fight, moved up a weight class and dominated the best guy in the world. I don't get.
I know. And what did he do before then? He fucking ran from Francis. He decision merchant. He probably lost against Dom Reyes. Close fight versus Tiago and a 5-rounder versus Anthony Smith. Couldn't get him out of there too. Beat DC on steroids. Before that, hit a pregnant lady with a car, ran back to grab cocaine, left the scene. Bro. I mean, that's the guy we're talking about right now.
Bro, you're sick, man. You can hate on Jon Jones. Sick, bro. That really hurts his resume, man. Hurts his resume as a fighter to bring up his.
You don't think doing steroids hurts your having multiple steroid failures in a cage fighting sport? You don't think that affects your resume?
So we're kind of just going in a constant circle on this topic. Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, not even a debate. Pereira, salute to you and your 3-fight run that you're on right now. It's unbelievable. You're a god, bro. You're a god. You're winning a couple kickboxing matches against some elite guys, like fucking Hall of Fame level guys, just straight killers, bro.
Do you think he beats Forrest Griffin?
That's it. All right.
Does Pereira beat Forrest Griffin?
Do we have anything else to discuss?
Does Pereira beat Forrest Griffin?
Good fight, to be honest. Don't know.